Excel Media Cast, the truth and reliable information.
Amabara ni nyowe Muhumuza Etienne, chairman LC51 Toroko. Rokeno nyesere extended DEC. Egendererwa cha DEC kibaire choko kwenda kumanya kahanurura hamu na ba technical team kumanya work plan biki ebikozerwe mu bote nyakoireho nenu ebitukugira kukora sente zingaha ezizire omu buli sector kandi nizigenda kukozesebwa zita bintu kebtukugenda kukora nukwe kituyambe nka DEC kumanya tukuba tugenda monitoring tugenda ku monitoringa ki kandi obunkuba ningamba n'abantu bange nimba manyisa kintu kye kukora nukwe kisobozese obwembezi bwaitu ku monitoringa kusigikira biki ebitwine kandi ebitukumanya n'abantu baitu abantu tugiye kubaza nabo bayikale ne bamanya biki ebya district egenda kubakora rundi government egenda kubakora twine ngudo ezitugenda kukora ezo waitu media okapcharingire twine amaizi agatugiye kukora zunde twakwesera extensions okusuka amaizi agenda kutwara sente milioni 14 omuli Tungama na Kanara na Nyakatoke ege ya Nombe bene twine mwengudo kiramono orugudo rwa Katiti kugenda Rwangara twine mu rugudo rwa Mabale Buranga Pass twine ngudo ezugenda kuba nzimaintainingwa obuntu kingure mufurege nemwe rugudo rwa Kayanza Mwarita Chobe Kiranga Rwebisengo Odiba Kisembo Muleju Road nengudo ezindi tuenda tekemu aba road gangs bikale ne bayigura emifurege no kwigara ebina ebitaito nukwe ngudo zaito sobole kuba nikozesebwa kurungi itasisikalirwe kimu kandi rundi ziteigara amaizi gakaburuho kugenda hanyuma ngudo zaito zikacweka ombye nyegesa twikaranize ba deployingegwe kusigikira capacity nebikaro ebasemerire kukoramu kandi twikaranize na bebembezi na technical team ngo goitu gurabaga eyes on hands off sabire abebembezi abakozi ba government kurora baba bamazima omubyone bakora kandi bitwikiranize kora byakoro busaho project yona rundi government tera yongera kuteka sente zona hantu rube rugudo ribi somero gabe maizi kibe kione kugurwa district tagenzere mu kichwe keki tukagambira abantu biki tukugenda kukora sente zingaha kandi baka launchinga program egi eki kitakozerwe ni nsaba bataka abantu abo mu babingi umuntu wakwiza kora nka kuombeke choloni eize na biochu engenderwaho yakuoleka ngwe choloni kitwagia kubombekera chebsika bisatu ikiombe kwa kiti plani erieti okutandikira kimuhanso okweka haiguru uraba ruli rugudo basemerire kubasoborora maram motoki 10 tugenda kuteka mukino tugenda kusteka hano nuko abantu murore kumazima kwe batugambire nibyo bikozerwe obuturagendaga mu monitoring twikeranize buli kintu kiona kitakakozerwe tugende nkabebembezi tumanyisa abantu kandi obukira marakoro tugende turoreku ikintu kinu kikozerwe mateka kikozerwe nko kucyali kisemerire kuba nikikorwa ekyo obukiragumizamu nikigenda kutuyamba kukendeza halos ya government esangirwe nekora rundi netunga bulikiro obweba esindikire sente mu government zebyanga nk'abebembezi turi committed kurora abantu baitu batunga obuhereza omu mazima kandi omu buringaniza. Twikiraniize heads of departments nabo okwikaraga buri kwezi nabo bakatunga meeting zabo nk'aba heads of department rather as a department nuko bakarora emirimo yabo yasobora kwirukanganizibwa kurungi hatarimu sikangana yona rundi loophole zona omu mirimo yabo. Nahabweki kiro kinu kibaire kiro kirungi muno mu history ya Ntoroko okuba butwikaliire twine bingi bituhanuriire bitasobora n'okumarayo kandi kituhaire nkijja kutuha direction kurora twatandika tuta twarubata tuta kandi ntwenda kuachivinga ki. Ebigambo ebi abantu boona Ntoroko nimbagondeza obusinge kandi nimbasaba mutugumisirize enu niyo ebaire kwota yaitu yokubanza tugondeze kutandika kwota yaitu tubamanyisa biki bitugenda kukora kandi ntwiza guma tubamanyisa obutosa mutyo muno kumpuririza.
We shall have discussions, recommendations and way forward. Then after I'll have an adjournment. I'm the chairperson Erosifai Muhumzetien during this meeting. Together with my DEC members are also present. So I will request and therefore call upon all heads of departments to work closely with the political leadership and to ensure that the government programs are implemented effectively and that public resources are used for their intended purposes. When I talk of public resources should be used for their intended purposes, here I'm saying I don't want diversions. Don't want diverting money without our knowledge. Here I emphasize the value for money. Our people expect better services in education, health, roads, culture, water, social development, and environmental protection. Here, is it environmental officer and forest officer? This goes to you. I've seen how our forest we have lost our forest coverage, and I don't see why. The reason as why cow should continue paying the forest officer and environmental officer. Then your work is just collect the revenue from charcoal burning, and when you go to Itozo, you can see the rate at which our trees are being cut. So I think this is the high time as heads of department, we can forge a way on how we are going to address that problem. This is very hard. Environmental officer, this is your ball is on your side. Here I want you to advise us on how we are going to address that challenge. We must therefore move from planning on papers to actual results on the ground. No heads of department, you are good at writing proposals, you are good at coming up with activities. When you go on the ground, there is zero. I can give you an example. Recently I wrote to a head of department, him to give an explanation of what he has been implementing. I have carried the file here. Everything is paperwork. It's indicating groups that benefited, but there is nowhere you can trace a signature of the group that has received the money and no acknowledgement. And here we are busy accounting for the money. That must stop. I appeal to all staff to avoid absenteeism, negligence, and unnecessary delays, and any form of extortion from the members of the public. Our offices belong to the people, and every citizen who comes to seek service deserves to be treated with respect and dignity. Absenteeism is real here. Late coming is real. I don't know why the supervisor like Kawa and chairman LC5, he always arrive before most of you have arrived. So Kawa, I think we also need to come up with a method. When you come and it has clocked 8:30, you close the book. Why should we paralyze activities because an officer has not reported at working time? And this tendency of most of you, now even office attendants here come from different districts. And I don't know why we should continue recruiting the office attendants from outside the district. This must stop. We need people who report in time. So absenteeism, late coming must also be stopped. As a district, we need to share challenges and information. Let us establish a culture where performance is measured by results, not by promises. At the end of every financial year, our people should be able to point to tangible improvements resulting from the resources entrusted to us. And this goes to engineers. We no longer want shoulder works. We no longer want maram, dust to be called the maram, or stones. Why should you work on a road and you don't put provisions for trenches and outlets? So, as a district, I don't want us to be embarrassed because what I am seeing on TV, very ugly. I have a committed team here. I want when Barugahara comes here, he should not find those unnecessary issues. So we need to correct them by ourselves. I further encourage regular communication between departments and political leadership. Let us share information, identify challenges early, and work together to address them. I also wish to emphasize the importance of accountability and transparency. And this calls for the Happy Cow has declared funds. It shouldn't stop from here. Need to inform some county chiefs. You know that communities down there, they are not aware of how much the district allocates to their various sub-counties. We want to make it a culture. If you have CFO, if you have given the sub-county X amounts, please let them also declare in their various stations. I want to assure you every end of the month I'll be going to radio and read those monies and tell the public that Tungama has received this much for the roads, for this and that. So that people should keep demanding depending on what we have told them. So we need to walk the talk. I also wish to emphasize every shilling received by the district must be properly accounted for. We must fight corruption, eliminate ghost activities, discourage shoulder work, and ensure that contractors and service providers deliver value for money. There has been a habit of contractors going to begin working without involving communities. For example, the contractor went to the Tungama Primary School and started excavating a pit latrine without informing a primary school, a teacher, PTA, not even the local leaders. I am happy that the German LOC3 chased them. When he chased them, now Education Department and engineers mobilized us to go for launching. I was very happy, and that chairman knows what he is doing. When we were mobilized, the car we were not here, went with your deputy. Reaching there, even there was no like a site engineer on the ground. So the man who actually camouflaged as a site engineer could not answer our questions. So really, you need also to vet the contractors before they are given these tenders. Because we need not only value for money, we also want quality work. Because if a site is being supervised by every department to provide clear and honest account of its performance. Mr. Cow, for every quarter, each department should present the following. What was planned for the previous quarter, like today, was expecting like the head of department to tell us what he implemented in the last quarter, what was actually implemented. You know, you can plan and fail to implement. The funds received and how they were utilized. What was achieved for the people of the district. Activities that were not implemented and the reasons for failure. Challenges encountered and how they can be addressed. What is planned for the coming quarter? The expected outputs and the beneficiaries for those activities. Now, the attendance is where, I don't know at times, whether if it is intended or because of hard paperwork here and there, like procurement, you are a key in this. The moment you delay to do the paperwork, that means the activities that are supposed to be implemented in this quarter, and now once they begin late, it means activities are going to go to actually they are going to keep recurring. When we have entered the second quarter, before we have even finished the activity, rather works of the first quarter. So want to always plan ahead, make sure if we have a procurement plan, the procurement department should always prepare their paperwork so that immediately the quarter begins like this, contractors should begin implementing. And we also need to be very cautious with briefcase contractors. People come with good paperwork, but when in actual sense, they are very bankrupt. They want to use our money to implement. Now you wonder, if you have the money, why is it that work is not moving out? And also we need to avoid this tendency of giving one contractor several, but we need to promote our own contractors. Where in the school we went to, down there, Kiranga Primary School, and we were told that class was built 20 years ago when we were still in Mozambique, and the floor was still intact, constructed by our own contractors around here, Mr. Kasui Hassan. This is a guy the district has opted not even to speak about him, despite numerous attempts by the persons who request for tenders, aiming at those who come from far, not due to our expectation. Another thing is the expected outputs and beneficiaries for those activities. For this current quarter, I want every head of department to clearly state what they are going to implement, what it will be implemented, the resources available, the expected results, and the time frame for completion in this meeting. I want to know if we have a toilet, when is it going to start? We have the funds, how much, and when should we expect to go and commission it? Physical accountability. If money was released for roads, we should know which roads were worked on and what was achieved. If funds were allocated to education, we should know the schools and activities benefiting from that funding. The same applies to health, agriculture, water, production, community development, and all other departments. I therefore propose that at the end of every quarter, we have a departmental performance review. This will enable us to identify departments that are performing well, those that are facing challenges, and areas requiring intervention. I also encourage heads of departments to work with their technical teams to prepare realistic quarterly targets, and thus avoid setting targets that cannot be achieved. Now, this goes to fight that brain game. At the same time, we must ensure that approved activities are actually implemented within the planned period. As political leaders, we shall not interfere with technical responsibilities. Rather, we shall insist on accountability and transparency, value for money, and results. Our people are not interested only in hearing that funds were released. They want to see better roads, functioning health facilities, improved schools, increased agriculture production, clean water, and improved livelihoods. That's here I want to pose a question. Do we have model schools? Do we have model farmers? The other time we were in a farmers forum in Websengo. Head of my department, my production department coordinator paraded people as extension workers. And I asked people, do you know them? No. Now, why should we have model farmers? We have food. Then you can take me. My friend here, he comes from a very good sub-county with fertile soil. You don't find the cassava there, you don't find the maize. Production, you are called extension workers. I want to fight those things. Therefore, from this meeting onwards, let us adopt simple principle. Every quarter must have a plan. Every plan must have implementation. Every implementation plan must have accountability plan, and every expenditure must produce results. Application grant, EHC. Have a very big, serious issues with health department. I see every time health workers from various stations masquerading, just making themselves busy here. I'm told there is a health center behind us there. Already took. Also, with the health of they have medicine, but you go to a health center too, you find there a senior clinical officer. That's such a resource in a health center too. Doing what? Why can't we have as many as senior clinical officers in the health center for we can put where there are issues? From saying, this is not dispensing anything here. Health center too. Put a senior man in health center too. Now we have serious referrals. We don't can put is at the level of the referral. Has high number of patients. We need to really deploy them according to their profession. Or why should a senior person be in an isolated health facility like this one? And I believe they don't have drugs. I believe even people don't know that there is the hospital here, because the officer is ever here at the district. So I want to really, there is a, where I have no good actually report. If I am to make a report, I do not have good report to make from health department. Noise every time. I'm getting calls from Karugutu. When saying there was a man who used to extort, but when I made the noise, he has stopped. I can attest to Romsengo. Now at least we have minimized. But Karugutu, now people come to Karugutu in the hospital at night when they are drunk. How can a nurse refer a person to Kabarole at night past midnight? Last night there was an issue. I was very annoyed, and I'm still bitter. With the way we call Baram to come and sort some of those issues in the Karugutu. A patient was referred last night by a nurse. How can a nurse refer a person to Kabarole Referral Hospital? And the person was drunk. Somebody, a chienda, how do you call it? And then the nurse refers. The man need to go with a serious referral. Where are they going to begin from? And this is something that requires an urgent intervention. But now the nurse has done what he has done. No, this must stop. I want to assure you. This must stop. What the DHO, this must stop. Those doctors should be actually summoned. How you should summon those doctors? The in charge should wake up. They are getting our money, we are paying them. Our people should not suffer because for them they went to school. That must stop, and I'm very serious. And I'm going to inform the center. If I again get information that our person has died mysteriously, the officer should be investigated. People should, because there is a tendency there, they refer people at the last what? When you have not given them chintu, when you give chintu kidogo, they work on you. When you have not given chintu kidogo, now they refer you. You become a referral now, subject to referral. On a case that is supposed to be handled at Karugutu. But because you have not given them chintu kidogo, now for you should be referred. Now they are referring you to Kabarole in the night. Don't we have doctors there? What are the Rogers, Beam Road, what are they doing there? So, this must stop, and we are not going to continue working like that. Our people should not suffer. That hospital has so many doctors, so many clinical officers. So we need to improve that. Let us work as together, as all of us, put the interest of our people above personal interest. Let us serve with integrity, humility, commitment, and patriotism. Together as political leaders and technical officers, we can build a district where public resources are protected, services are improved, and every citizen has opportunity to live a better life. I thank all of you. Thank you for listening to God and my country. I have one issue. First will go, everybody will go. We need the replacement. Two, also on that count, I have received numerous complaints from different stations, from lower local governments. Department like community development, you have not transferred your officers for the last 5 years. People have become residents, and that's why we are getting issues of extortions from CDOs, from parish chiefs. So I want those people to be, you cannot keep in a station permanently as if you are head of department until you are retired. CDOs should be switched, various chiefs should be switched, and I want to inform of commercial. This district has one chairperson and one DEC. As you conduct your PDM activities, this office must be informed. I am not aware completely. There are several complaints about PDM. I don't even know the current status. Even as a district chairperson, I am not updated. We had to hunt for the so-called focal person, come and give us briefing. Even the briefing he gave us was not all that, satisfactory. Because I know, as politicians, is eyes on, hands off. But we are getting a lot of complaints, and there is no way you can address them. Like today, people are calling me. They are saying they are waiting for money. When are they supposed to get their money? What is the recovery rate? Because this is a revolving money. What is the recovery rate? Because it's a revolving one, and the president directed. Now you are constituting these committees, revetting, are they PDM circles? How are you conducting that activity? Are we supposed to know as leaders, or we are not supposed to know? So if there is a program, Mr. Cow, that we need to polish, is PDM. And if I'm to invite Baram, I will invite him on that program. There are a number of complaints. And you are not updating us, Barosi. Because I'm calling you, because you are the head, much as it has a focal person, is under your doctor. You better prepare a comprehensive report and update this office. Otherwise, we shall join the community to gang against whatever you are doing, which they feel they are not satisfied with. Parish chiefs, engineers have issues from Kanara Town Council, from the chairperson. Those people don't implement there because they're in a corner there, they keep there, so they don't implement. That is as per the chairman LC3. There's over complaint about Kanara. So Kanara Town Council, you need to put them to order. Secondly, production, climate smart agriculture. That program is a good program, but here we need to go on the drawing board. My office wrote to your office requesting to know much about climate smart agriculture. There was a tele applying people from corners there. A vehicle comes loaded, well loaded, and they begin supplying things there without even reaching here. Is this district really? That's how things are supposed to be done. The contractor starts distributing from corners there. Chambango is busy receiving them there in the corners. Things have not reached the district. Begin distributing, supply up to the end. And then what they bring here, they bring paperwork. Now, there is an attempt. There is when I was called to go and witness supplies. Said I cannot go until those things have. Let them first reach here, we see them. But now, what is the Canary? Who was there with the woman member of parliament? We're almost attacked I wish the fisheries was here, using the district, that we are steering them. The nets, those people co-funded with us. They gave the over 11 million as co-funding, 2 groups. Now we supplied them with those nets years. Now, according to them, I am not an expert in those things. According to them, that those nets that we gave them on a local market, it is 11,000. And we supplied them at 44. Isn't that robbery? Through a robbery? A man knows that in Canara, in a shop on a local market card, the net is sold at 11,000. Now you have requested such a person to co-fund that you give him nets or her, then you supply him at 44. Yet he knows in the local market it is 11. Are we really transforming our people, or we are killing them? Now when you look at this document, I want to show you a document here. I requested for accountability and water plan. Now I want to show you this document here. The department gave us, did not satisfy us. Didn't see where any group, where there is a group that signed for their money and paperwork. So, we want a special audit conducted on those funds. And we have our internal auditor here, and we should give us that report in a period of 1 month. Failure, do so, shall seek for maybe an intervention of other agencies. I want to end from here and wish you a good deliberation. This report card, we want that special audit conducted, and we want a report in a period of 1 month. Because we have auditors, we cannot ask central government auditor general to come and audit these programs of ours. So next is there is people are saying that they might receive no rains. There's no rains. There is a projection that it might run from September up to even January, and that it is going to be heavier than what we received in 2014, 19 and 23. So one of 19 which took some villages was at 0.8, and now they are saying it might go up to 2 point something. So you can see what we are heading for. The period we are going for is not a good time. As we work, we ask you to prepare. Tomorrow we have invited for, we have called for an internal disaster management committee meeting. We have also scheduled for a conference for donors on 19th. I want to invite all of them to come and see whether we can put our heads together and see, in case it happens, being projected. There's a team we sent to Marachi last week. They spent the whole week. Are they here? Who was part of the group? It was the civil education office.
She's around.
But they want specifically to discuss about these rains that are coming. And it is said in Toroko is going to get a worse question. We want to know the previous year. So please, our duty here is now, in case it happens, what shall we do? As education, how are you prepared to manage that situation? We are going to have candidates. Will they lose their exam, or should prepare examination centers where we can put them either in Kambutu or Obrem to make sure they don't lose their exam. So if they go to Kambutu, what will they eat and where will they sleep? So where else can we put them? Or how many centers can we have from those areas that are likely to be? You know the areas likely to be affected by the rain. But they are saying it is real and it is
very big, never happened before. So please, as work, also put into consideration the next month, which I'll be. That is one. Chair, the other point I wanted to make is.
And you always pass there, you find people are there. That's what.
So the whole emphasis is on revenue mobilization. The point has been captured. Any other different point?
Then secondly, it is under procurement. Procurement, I've had the chairman has put it clear. Sometimes there has been delays in procurement, whereby affects all the projects of that very quarter to be implemented. Because if it drains, everything drains. Because you cannot start a project, work on project without passing through procurement process. I hope this time we should do the best.
Seriously, I would request to at least for us to be provided with the guidelines of climate smart, because we have seen that most of our communities are being given information which they cannot afford. Like before, they were giving our women in the communities that they should go for grow money, and yet they cannot afford it. The same thing comes to climate smart. They came to Waramola and they were like, they have these cages of fish ponding, and we have one which is very far from the community. And this climate smart purposely came to improve our standards of living. So if you are going to tell someone to go put in transport, I think it will even bring more harm. In addition to that, on the climate smart, Mr. Powell, we as the secretaries or the executive, we haven't been given opportunity to know more about it. As the chairman had said earlier, that he has always been seeing things being supplied in his absence. So the same applied to us.
So are you in agreement or a disagreement that you requested for a special audit? Are you in agreement or?
I'm in agreement so much.
Honorable Mary, let's be very.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair, deck members, and all the head of departments. As you know, this is our first engagement. Thank you. Bear with us to tell you the truth. One, as in my department of production, I've been there in a period of 1 month and some weeks. As you know, we are still new. But I was very much willing to know what was happening before even we entered. Because we entered there when they had done their work plan and so forth. But for my surprise, you could ask for the work plan and what they're doing in the office. Couldn't disclose much. I'm sorry to tell you this, one DPO, because I've been visiting the offices asking for the work plan, what are you doing inside here? I want to know more as the secretary for production, but you don't get it. But they've been telling me that, you know what, our work plan is in the computers, we cannot access it, which is not right. If we are working together as political wing and technical wing, we need to be somewhere, somehow transparent. Because it is my pain, if I'm to say it that way, to find that I'm having information from the social media that such thing has been happening in the field, like FMD, for example. You're not even engaged as the secretary for production. You don't know even what is FMD, you yourself. For sure, that is not right. So please, DPO, I'm requesting in a humble way, let me know more about what is happening inside production department. Because if I know what is happening, I also get answers of what to answer. I have someone who is, I have to be answerable to my boss. In case he asks me about anything concerning production department, let me be in position to add out what is supposed to be done inside there. Instead of being blindfolded, when he asks me about something and I really have no answer for that. So that one is not
Not
right.
only me, even the public.
People, I'm answerable to the public. You know, you technical people, You went through the hands of the cow and so on to be appointed. But for us, taking the political wing, we have the people who appointed us to come in here. Those are the people who have to be answerable to. When they ask, Secretary, Honorable, do you know anything concerning FMD, concerning climate smart? I'm the one to make noise outside there. Because for you to keep in the office, you don't make noise out there for people to know. So I'm requesting very, very kindly, please allow us to know what is happening in the production department. Not only me, but the whole DEC, the chairman. People should know. Because that is why even the chairman was so furious about climate smart. You weren't telling us the exact thing. If you had gotten the information earlier that, you know what, Bwana Chair, we have climate smart in our district, it is operating like this and doing like this. We are not going to go that far. Because now we are going to audit you. And what I know inside you that when they audit you, they will find queries in there. Me personally,
Chair, I think we all must admit that.
We are supposed to construct 5 stands here to bring the Blackfield at the Nombe SDA Primary School, a cost of 34 million. We also supposed to construct a 5 stands here to bring the Blackfield at Chavandra Primary School at the yields 800,000. We are also supposed to construct a 2 classroom block at the Rwesenene SDA Primary School, cost of 141 million. Then we are expected to procure this 148 number at the cost. We shall also conduct rehabilitation of a 2 classroom block at Chibuku Primary School, cost of 54 million. Then rehabilitation of 2 classrooms at the Ndoroko Primary School, cost of 70 million. Then we shall also rehabilitate the classrooms that we have so far, cost of 50 million. This makes it 280 million.
If I may ask, 18 millions, how much have you received so far in this plan and for construction?
Cost we receive 33%.
Government does not come in the first quarter. It comes in the second quarter half, then another half.
So we expect money for the capital development in second quarter.
Yes. We are supposed to do the procurement preparation. But by the time the money comes, we can sign agreements.
But the one for non-wage under rehabilitation.
Yes, that is.
So
How much?
That is not the government.
So the one for Sokoma, Roko, at least 33%
Has come.
has come.
Problems that were listed, but when we went into the field to do assessment and evaluation, we found that the 2 boreholes, the one for Kaderengete and Udege, were no longer, they cannot be rehabilitatable. Okay, for those which that I've shared, the dismantled picture is for Udege, and then that other borehole where the pump technician is standing, that is Kaderengete. The Kaderengete borehole releases brown reddish water. And I understand it had already been abandoned by the community.
You're still taking it out.
They are not taking it, and we cannot rehabilitate it because that signal shows that that water has a lot of iron and manganese, which is very harmful to our health. So we cannot allow the community to go for it. And if we talk of doing rehabilitation, we shall not call it rehabilitation. It means it's actual reconstruction, where we have to set up an aerator to remove that iron, and that system is very expensive. We find that if we have to go for that, the system alone for the aerator will take the 32 million. So I come with a prayer today that as I submit the quotations for the rehabilitation of the boreholes,
we are requesting to swap, we are requesting Femina to swap those 2 boreholes which are no longer rehabilitatable, and we get other 2 boreholes from the community where there is too much need. So when we still went to the field on the advice of chair, we realized that we had 3 boreholes in the community. One is in Majumba North, in Besengo, another one is in Kadingidi, and then another one is in Rusenyi. So from the 3 boreholes, we are requesting at least we get the 2 to swap and put into our rehabilitation.
Rusenyi Kadingidi, they are near each other. Majumba is highly populated. So we can put one in Majumba, another one in Rusenyi, so that the one of Rusenyi and Kadingidi, they can easily.
They put it in Kadingidi.
Whatever. Kadingidi and Rusenyi, they are.
For launching, implementation, and commissioning. Now, for me, what I've been doing in Mbarara, if you finish today and you're satisfied that you finish within 2-3 days for us, why did you wait for the people who do not implement to come and commission? They will ask you many questions. Who are not there. So, one, Chair, during our time since we are now here together, I don't expect by April we should tell people that bring your request for payment. Let's not wait for May and you start pushing money here and there. What are we doing since from now up to reach June? Crossing and we're going to July. Why? Because we know we have to remember. It's like people who don't go home for Christmas. Christmas is on 25th December. And you knew when the last Christmas was there, then you knew that there was going to be a what? Another Christmas. And you start saying, I didn't have money, I don't have money. No. Please, let's improve. Procurement, if we have the money, let's improve. Otherwise, I don't write. Now we are going to answer for you. Why did you hide the money there? They even wrote a circular, I think, finance. They wrote a circular that don't push that money into rural governments, keep it there. But unfortunately, we have it. So that is now going to be an area where we are going to start saying we are cooperating, at lazy here and there. It now becomes what? Real. The external auditors when they come. So my request, members, is we have between now and August 30th, and we implement all the projects. And the latest, by beginning of end of April, we should be asking those people to ask for their payment, for their money. Not giving contracts in May. Why? Yeah.
So in a nutshell, Cow is telling us that by using this quarter's money to commission activities in the previous quarter is a diversion of what? This time, since your salaries were enhanced, we shall use your salary. Proceed.
And culvert installation. And also in quarter one, we had planned to have our road guns to work on Zamore Kayanja, 8 kilometers, Nakumbu Chamtema, 11 kilometers, Resengo Cheranga, 7 kilometers. We have Kisemu Mreji Road, which was opened under 6 kilometers. And Resengo Mdiba 7 kilometers. We want to empower people to maintain these roads because we discovered that most of our roads we open them, we leave them. After 2 years, they get impossible because of the simple activity of maintenance. The case in point is in Ivanawan, the culvert was broken one night and water came. Now we have lost section of the road which needs resettling. We are trying to bring back our road guns. In case the release for maybe we are hoping to use the road fund which we have not got.
The idea is good. So let's hope that those people you are going to deploy pay, that you don't cause us trouble with them, because if you know that the funds are going to be available, they are going to help us actually maintain those roads. Like this road you have mentioned, Nyabukungu Chamtema, the Chamtema road, his work plan is clear.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman. We have left out to economic Wanga Road.
No, it's not in this
And we
order.
use it
It's not in this order.
in the road fund.
Maybe member Chair.
Quarter two.
Chair, what the Chair should have told you is that that decision was taken by the District Roads Committee, which is composed of the MPs and the Chair and the Council, and we agreed that we first concentrate on this road. But in case the floods come, then maybe there are two which we agreed on. In case the floods come, we shall go for that second.
Maybe I didn't tell you. We held this with Roads Committee. And by constitution, is by policy, it is three of us, me, the woman MP and the male MP, that we are supposed to vote a chairperson from amongst ourselves. So I am lucky that the two voted for your chairperson, and I'm now the chairperson. Oh, Vananuka, you don't have a breathing space. when you are being chaired by a member of parliament, you have a breathing space because for them they stay in the campaign. Here you say about spread the maram in the evening, I will be there. So anyway, what I'm saying, what I wanted to inform members that this is very elaborative, and let's proceed to. I've seen production. Do you have a report with us? Have you given us your report?
It is us who gave you the pastures he's using.
This boy here?
Yes, it's our pasture. Then I also have the plot at the side of pasture to demonstrate to people that we can grow pasture to avoid depending on the national pasture alone. Of course, disease control, we vaccinated around 190 plus. 180 head of cat, those are doses of FMD. We're trying to struggle to control and stamp out FMD, which is still a normal because of the nature of our forest border. So those were FMD alone, and of course the staff are doing some other vaccination. And several small-scale irrigation schemes on around 112 million, which was reported. The earlier financial year, we had a lot of challenges and money was swept. So it was reported, those farmers are there, starting from Uganda, and here in Kiseke, in Tocho, and the Karutu Town Council, plus Nombe. Nombe, there is the Kamungu and the Purwamba. Then, in that year, 4 schemes were completed. These schemes had the issues, they had come over a long time. This man had failed to complete them, but he completed them and handed them over. So in total, we had the 4 we completed, the 6, and of course, other legs they were giving us completing the other dam, which is still ongoing. Yes. So the PDCs, we expect them to share from the 25 million, 14 million, then 11 million go to Paris Chief. Monthly, we supported them like the president instructed, 100,000. So that is 11 million, making 25. Development, we expected 29 million in this quarter if it had come, but I have seen it is still the declaration. Water for production, and here we expected the co-funding, the 80 farmers who could support co-funding of about 36, so part of this, and then the 57. We will start with those to support the other farmers willing to enroll. Then post-harvest handling and storage. This is under Uganda Payments Map. We expect 55 million, which is not on the declaration.
What is that?
They say malaria, they say typhoid, yet it is no food. Huh? So I think, Herbert, your report is clear enough. Let me hear from
Work is done, but either documents are on the computer, but they are not on file. We have started this activity. I was in Kabuto Town Council yesterday. Parish chiefs did work. They did not have the document, the information is not on file. So we have a challenge with data, storage and retrieval. We may need some recommendations from this. Maybe in the future to have the resource center, the likes of those. Office space for posterity. Let us plan to have another structure by 2030. I know some most of us will have left. Let us have it in the budget to have an office building. I was talking to colleagues whether this place has a master plan. This place here, we have a master plan for placing structure document of 2013 that approved the fiscal development plan of that town. The report, the document and the minute from the National Fiscal Planning Board, because that is what already shows that you have a plan. If you have it and it's just approved by some county and district, it's not a plan. So if we can plan, let us put some token money, it will come in the future. And washed away. So we need a revenue master plan to give us the patterns. When it rains, when water comes from the hills, where does it go? So these small things, these small software things, they are not going to be reversed. You raise the road, you put small culverts, but you don't have anything scientific to tell you that water is going to flow this way or that way. Let me go to, and maybe the second last one. To guide this activity that we have had today, in the last TPC, the deputies of department and some counties at every TPC should provide written submissions. Now, if you have one per month, it becomes easier to sum them and you have a quarterly report. Just prepare a report for every TPC so that by the end of the quarter, you don't firefight here. The other one, Chairman, maybe to you, we have local revenue about 720 million. Last year, government introduced a tourism grant. We lost out, there were some letters here, Chair and Cow, we are requesting you to tickle the powers that because we are not considered as a tourist. I think for total about 800 million. We missed out. But when we realized that money, these districts were going to send the money, Cow wrote a letter to the Ministry of Tourism, so that we have considered. I was trying to bring it to you.
Make a forum.
We also have money in hanging of this Toro Sebrik Game Reserve. We are meant to understand Parliament approved that it becomes a national park. If it becomes a national park, we increase our royalties, local revenue, so that everybody here.
For this engagement, I want to thank you for the time you have accorded this meeting, the responses, and the patience. Really, you have been so much cooperative. For those who have given clear worker plans, I thank you so much. And for those whose worker plans had some issues, and request we work on them and submit corrected worker plans which have no issues here and there. I want to promise you that we shall work together. I am here to support your activities. Rewarded, yes, so that it motivates others. Yes, and we shall be also naming and shaming worst performing departments. Every department here is tough to, apart from the two departments. And I'm told we are recruiting DIS. So when we put there DIS, we don't want more excuses. If you are
collected the money from parents for PLOE, all the fee people you are levying. If the people fail to perform, they will blame you again. Because that money, those parents are not supposed to pay for PLOE something. But if they have paid willingly, because you have requested for it, they want to see their children performing well. But if they fail next time, they will not do what? They will not contribute. That the parents should raise something to enable, contribute something, enable smooth running of the school. I don't want those teachers to be harassed or those head teachers to be harassed by anybody, including whoever, because now we can't sit and watch our schools die because there is a policy. Local government Education Act is very clear. Those are voluntary contributions. If they are voluntary contributions, we are only emphasizing accountability. Let head teachers give proper accountability to parents. Once parents are convinced that the money that they contribute is being used effectively, they will contribute, and they will not see them hesitating to pay. But again, we should